Hello, my friends. I used to work at McDonald's and I wanted to tell you my experience as a middle-aged person. So I started there, it was about 10 years ago now, so things may have changed. This was at a branch that was a franchise. So you've got two different types of McDonald's. You've got one that's run by the firm, if you like, and one that's sort of he's bought into it and it's sort of he's the boss, just like, I don't know. But anyway, he was a bit of an arsehole, but that's irrelevant. So it was at one of these franchise ones. So I don't know if it's the same for every Mackey's. Don't know if it's their policy or whether it's his policy. But I'm going to tell you my experience. Let me just have a drink of my tea because it's a thirsty one. So my position, and I think everybody's position when they start, is on the drive-through. I started in April and I left in August. I couldn't stand it anymore. It was awful. Anyway. So the first thing they do is get you on the drive-through and you have to get familiar with the till and all the, you know, not the icons, the names of the food, the like regular meat, I don't know, it's all bullshit anyway. But when you were taking the order, at the end of the order, you had to say, is that everything? You couldn't say anything else, or is that all? I'll tell you why. It's because it's one syllable less. Everything in McDonald's has to be done super quick. It's not the quality of the food. If it's cold, that doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. You've just got to be quick. If the order's wrong, as long as they get it quick, that's fine. So to me, as a middle-aged woman, that doesn't sit well. I don't like the idea of that. Another thing, as you're on the drive-through, it's not as bad as when you're in, they call it a restaurant, but if that's a restaurant, I'm a bloody Dutchman. If it's quiet on the drive-through, you've got a headset on all the time. So if it's quiet on the drive-through, you have to go into the restaurant and serve if there's anybody in the restaurant, or tidy up or clean. Which is fine, I don't mind cleaning, I like cleaning. And the restaurant. So you've got your drinks. You've got the certain things that you can have when you don't have to wait for the kitchen. You know, you do the drinks and there's some other bits and pieces for sale behind I can't bloody remember. It was 10 years ago nearly. And anyway, you're serving drinks. So say you're giving a Coke, or I can't even remember the drinks now, probably 7-Up or something, I can't remember. But you're taking the money, you're putting the money in the till. Now, I know most things now are card, but there will still be some money, and I'm sure it won't have changed that much unless they've been forced to change by food standards or whatever. But I'm not exaggerating when I say this. You're serving a drink, you're serving a sticky drink, you're gonna get some runoff on your fingers at some stage. You're taking the money, putting the money in the till, your hands are sticky, the customers keep coming, so you can't wash your hands in between customers. It's impossible. Even when it's possible, the nearest hand washing sink is about 30 foot away. I'm not exaggerating. You have to walk round the kitchen, you have to walk through the kitchen, and then you have to zigzag into the sink where you wash your hands. Most of the time the paper has run out to dry your hands, and nobody will change that paper. As I say, everything is about speed. So you shake your hands off and, flick them off. Then you dry them on yourself because you want to get them dry. You don't want the customers to feel like your hands are wet. It's disgusting. It is filth. It's horrible. You just imagine all that money. You're taking in all that money and you're giving that money back with all those germs on your hands. Now, the people that work there are youngsters, they're children, they're kids, that's all. They've no idea. They don't think about things like that. It's only really COVID that, has brought to attention to, how many germs there are on your hands. They've no idea. They don't care. Not interested in any of that. Don't care. So, as a new employee, just keeping in mind as well, you've got this headset on and it's beep, beep, beep all the time. So you're not going to get to wash your hands if you get someone at the drive-through. You've got to just go straight there because it's all about the speed. All about the speed. So that's working on the restaurant and then working in the drive-through. Meanwhile, when you do the drive-through, you do something else, which they call a dive. I don't know why. It seems stupid to me. Basically, it's washing up. So you're cleaning all the things that the people in the kitchen, all the washing up they're making. Now, the one thing I was disgusted at, and I still can't believe it, if they still haven't got one, I don't know what's wrong with the world. They don't have a dishwasher. Now, young people haven't got the skin that I have got. I can have very, very hot water when I'm washing things up. But they can't have that. They can't tolerate the hot water like me. So those cooking utensils are not going to be clean. They haven't got a dishwasher. The dishes just aren't clean. How can you clean, well, not dishes, because they're not dishes, are they? But whatever they use to, the greasy stuff that they use to cook. How can you clean those greasy things, those greasy baskets that you put in, you put your chips in the chip fryer? How can you clean them when you haven't got a dishwasher? I think some of the time they get boiled in like the fryer, and the boiling does get them clean, but it's very rare that they do that. They can't do it. They can't. Because everything's about the speed and everything's about the cooking. They can do a certain amount at night, but there's still people coming through 24/7 on that drive-through. So they still want their food. So yeah, that's one thing I was shocked about. Wiping the surfaces, the workspaces. Now, this one shocked me as well. I had no idea that they would do something like this. This is just ridiculous. Now, I work in a care setting currently. We're allowed to use however many cloths. There's no limit. You're allowed to use whatever you need. It's fine. Their cloths were tea towels, like you'd find in a pub, like plain white cotton tea towels. They used wet tea towels and wiped the side. These tea towels are then washed in a washing machine, and then they're taken out of the washing machine and they're put into plastic boxes to soak in disinfectant. Now, because it's all about speed, you can imagine sometimes you're waiting for these cloths to be washed. So you've got to wait for the washing machine to finish. And to be honest, it's absolutely disgusting. They're using those cloths again and again and again in the wrong way. They're disgusting. It's absolute filth. So instead of they can't wait for the washing machine to finish, so they have to use what they've got because the cloths run out eventually because you're washing them. And why don't they use like disposable cloths? You know, the one like jade cloths, I think they call them, don't they? The disposable ones. Why don't they use them? Even if they're soaking in the disinfectant so they're ready to go all the time. You know, and then you can use the tea towels when they do come back. Not just keep using the same old disgusting tea towels because it's not ready. So, yeah, that was another fun fact for you. Because, you know, it needs to be quick. The washing machine wasn't on a very long cycle. So it didn't get hot enough. It was probably on a 40. It was only on for about 40 minutes. So, must have been. The hotter the temperature, the longer it takes, and it was a shit-hole machine anyway. And 2 seconds, because I've written stuff down. Because the place was run by children, they had no respect for me. I'm not saying that I'm not experienced in working in that environment for a kick-off, but as a person, as I would do to any other person, they were so disrespectful. They would just fill the bin up until it was so full, the bag was ripping, or if the bag wasn't fitting around the inside of the bin properly, they didn't care. It just went all down the back of the bin. So it made more work for me because I had to take the whole bin out and tip it out into the skip outside, which was a bloody mile away from where I worked, so it's not a straightforward thing emptying the bin. You know, they couldn't just knot it up and put another liner in. No, they couldn't do that. They just kept shoving it in. There's no respect for the colleagues that you're working with. It's horrible. Another thing which I found a bit odd, anybody that likes their burgers and it's got bacon on, it's, you know, really nice to have a bit of bacon. The bacon is actually cold. They don't heat the bacon up. It's not hot. They put it on the burger, and their idea is that the burger makes the bacon warm. So just remember that when you have your next, whatever they are, with the bacon on. Or in the morning, what is it? The bacon and egg McMuffin. The bacon isn't hot. The egg is, and they think that the heat off the egg is going to be enough to heat the bacon up. They do. So, yeah, I think that's all my bad experiences about McDonald's. Some of the children are lovely. And they are children, aren't they? The training that they're given looks good on paper, but they don't put anything into place and they're not really bothered. They don't really care about any of that side of it. You might get some that are really good, but they just don't care. They don't give a shit. They're there for a few months and they're gone. You know, it's not run by people like me and you probably, if you're watching this video, because you're probably middle-aged like I am, and you're in the situation I was in, where you needed a job quickly, and McDonald's is there, and that's it. I don't know if it's still their policy or whether it was just the policy of this franchise. But if you leave, they don't let you go back. They won't let you go, no matter how good you are. There was this one little lad, Joe. Hang on. There's one little lad, Joe. He was brilliant. He was really good. He could do the kitchen. He could do the drive-through. He did the restaurant. You know, he was really good. Really, really committed. He never went off sick or anything. He was a really good lad. Anyway, he wanted more money, so he got a job in Aldi, I think it was. Now, this little lad was really good. So he went to Aldi, and unfortunately, he didn't get past the probation. Which, I don't know what their standards are, but this lad was quick. He was quick. And he wanted to come back, and they wouldn't let him come back. Even though he was a brilliant worker, he was reliable, he was versatile, he could do it all. They wouldn't let him go back. So keep that in mind. If ever you work at McDonald's, they won't let you go back if you leave, which is a bit mean. I know a lot of places that will let you go back, a lot of places. You know, circumstances change, don't they? Sometimes you might need to go back, but they won't let you go back. So that is one of the experiences in my life that I wish that I hadn't have had, but I had to have because I was made redundant and I had to get a job. Didn't want to do care anymore then, wanted out. And I went there and I wish I hadn't have gone. And I went back to care, even though I'm not doing care, but I'm still in the care home. So, yeah.